Every device, everywhere. The following program does not necessarily reflect the opinions of the management, staff, or advertisers of Cena Radio.
كل مرة بنتلاقى بحدا بيسألنا شو الأخبار. تابعونا كل نهار أربعة الساعة 3 لنتناقش ونتحاور ونسلط الضوء على أهم المواضيع اللي بتخصنا كلنا بتجرد وموضوعية. برنامج شو الأخبار مع حسين هاشم كل نهار أربعة الساعة 3 على راديو سينا 102.3 FM. تابعونا لتعرفوا شو الأخبار. تحياتنا لكم مستمعينا من أسير 102.3 FM ومشاهدينا على صفحة واتساب ميديا نتورك على الفيسبوك. رمضان مبارك، رمضان كريم عليكم وعلينا جميعا. إن شاء الله بتكون فرصة لنا نتلاقى ومثل ما بنوعدناكم نحن كل نهار أربعة من الساعة 3 للساعة 4 بنتلاقى فيكم ببرنامج واتساب شو الأخبار بضيوف جداد ومواضيع جديدة. اليوم ضيفنا رح يكون هارون بحيتي، مش هيك؟ بحاتي سوري. هارون اليوم رح نتحدث نحن وياه عن البزنسز، كيف فيكم تشتروا أو تبيعوا بزنس. كل واحد بيحلم إنه يكون عنده بزنس، فحبينا إنه هارون يكون معنا اليوم لحتى نشرح لكم كيف فيكم تخلوا حلمكم يصير حقيقة. حتى لو عندكم إمكانيات، مش ضروري يكون عندكم إمكانيات تكون كتير كبيرة، بس هارون will help you إنه يكون تحققوا حلمكم أو تشتروا أو تبيعوا البزنس تبعكم. فهيدا رح يكون موضوعنا لليوم. قبل ما نبلش بموضوعنا خلينا نتشكر السبونسرز تبع واتساب ميديا نتورك اللي هن كريستال ساندز بيتش ريزورت، المحامي حميد دكروب، he's a state planning و probate attorney, applied modern house دكتور مو هزيمة، بيج ريس كويك كلوب الموجودين على اوكمان وفورد بدير 1، واسواق البلد افر فريش ماركت الموجودين على انالبرو تريل اللي عندهم سيل بمناسبة شهر رمضان المبارك، سيل كبير بنصحكم تروحوا وتشوفوا شو عندهم. انا كمان بحب اذكركم انه بمناسبه شهر رمضان المبارك نحن عندنا برامج حصريه على واتساب ميديا نتورك، بس فيكم تحضروها عنا من الاثنين للسبت. الاثنين عندنا برنامج عبق من الرحمة مع خضر فرحات، نهار الثلاثاء عنا برنامج صحتك بصحنك مع نادي عكنان، الأربعة على الراديو نحن كل نهار 4 من 3 ل4، نهار الخميس مع هبة ببرنامج انتو بس من 2 ل3، وعندنا برنامج ألعاب بكرة ببلش من 7 ل8 مع محمد. رح تقدروا تربحوا كتير شغلات بهيدا البرنامج including على عيد إن شاء الله رح تربحوا فان مقدم من نينو أوتوسيل. هيدا الفان القيمة تبعه تقريبا 5000 ل 6000 دولار، رح تربحوه بس من خلال واتساب ميديا نتورك. اليوم أو بكرة رح نعلن عن جيم كيف فيكم تربحوا. ونهار الجمعة عنا عباس على 6:30، ونهار السبت جو هزيمي ببرنامج اسمه The Taste for One Show كمان على واتساب ميديا نتورك. فكتير برامج موجودة عنا حصرية لواتساب ميديا نتورك، بنصحكم تروحوا لعنا على الفيسبوك بيج، تعملوا لايك تعملوا فولو للبيج. كمان نحن موجودين على الانستغرام، والويب سايت تبعنا هو واتساب ميديا نتورك.com. اليوم حيلا واحد بيحب يشاركنا بالحلقة بالأرقام التليفونات من ديترويت هي 313 769 6666 313 769 6666 ومن منزل كندا هي 519 256 1023. هارون أهلا وسهلا فيك.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
حبيبي هلا, since this is the first time you come with us to the show, نحن usually the first timers we tell them to introduce themselves and tell us a bit about their background. فتفضل.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I want to thank everyone that's tuning in and happy Ramadan to everybody, especially the ones that are fasting. As you said, my name is Haroon Bhatti from Evolution Ventures. We focus on business consulting and business brokerage. We work in partnership with Capital Business Brokerage when it comes down to anything business brokerage related. Primarily, besides the consulting part, helping business owners refine their businesses, we help business owners buy and sell businesses, privately held businesses. The goal is to really prevent them from making any costly mistakes. Most of the time, people don't even know that their business has any value, their company in itself. So that's our primary focus, is to really, show the sellers what the value is in the business, really put a financial value on the intangible assets that the business have, and also when it comes down to buyers, giving them a transparent understanding of what the business is and what they can expect out of it.
Very good. So basically يعني بده يشتري بزنس او بده يبيع البزنس تبعه. You guys انتوا بتقعدوا معهم and بتقعدوا معهم لتفهموا exactly شو البزنس تبعهم او شو البزنس اللي هن يحبون يشتروه، شو الشغلات اللي هن لازم ينتبهوا عليها عشان يعملوا decision تكون القرار تبعهم قرار it's an educated decision.
Exactly.
Okay. خلينا نبلش بموضوعنا شوي هارون. وأول شيء نشرح للعالم شو هو البزنس بروكراج.
Okay, so business brokerage, a lot of times people think that business brokerage is the same thing as a real estate broker or a real estate agent.
Very good.
It's very far from the truth. It has some aspects of real estate brokerage or what a real estate agent would do because every business is coming with real estate. So we definitely help people with that as well. But primarily our job is of an educator.
Okay.
Really helping people understand how to prepare to sell a business, how to optimize the value of the business, ensure that if a buyer wants to get financing for their business, the business is financeable, and presenting the business in a way that is most attractive to the buyers.
تمام. خليني بلش بكل نقطة قلتها أنت. أول نقطة قلتها أنتو how to prepare to sell your business.
Yeah.
So نحن رح نبلش هلا إذا أنت عندك بزنس.
Yeah.
أوكي. بدك تبيعه.
Yeah.
أوكي. كيف فيك تحضر لحتى تبيعه لهيدا البزنس؟
So
أنت رح تحكي إنجليزي وأنا رح ترجم.
exactly. I'll try to speak Arabic where I can, but when it comes to little technicality, we're gonna have to go into English.
Go for it.
Before I go into the preparation of the business, I want to talk about to help people understand the difference between the what is a business and then the commercial real estate. Because a lot of times what people do is they get confused between when we're talking about business brokerage, they start thinking we're talking about selling a commercial real estate.
Okay.
So the business value is, for the company to produce cash flow.
Okay.
How much money does it produce as a business? Now the business can just rent the real estate and not own the real estate, but still the business has a value in itself. So that's, first, the primary difference is, the business is the company, the intangible, which can be the customer list, the name of the business, the team that you have in place, and it's operating already. It's already producing money.
Very good.
So that has to have a value.
قديش بدهم لازم يكونوا موجودين بالبزنس لحتى يصير عنده فاليو هذا البزنس، او يا ترى اول ما بتفتح الباب بيصير عندك انت فاليو كبزنس؟
Depends. If you open you're not going to have value right away unless you have something proprietary like a patent or a trademark on a product. Then we can talk about, okay, you have value because nobody else can come in and compete with you.
Very good.
But if you're opening up a regular business that's going to be providing a service or a product that anyone else can sell, then you have to work towards building the value. مثلا, you're going to be working 3 years at this business. The hardest time when you start a business is when you open the door for the business, right? The highest risk is at that time because you don't know if you're going to get clientele, if you're going to get business coming in, the marketing, efforts that you have to do when you start a business. That's the hardest part. So once someone already opens up a business, بعملوا marketing, they're going out making contacts, they have good relationships with the suppliers, they have good terms on how they pay them. Now you're developing value in that business, right? You're hiring the right people, you're inspiring the team. That's the value that you're building. So down the road, 3-4 years or even 20 years, you decide to sell, you want to get paid for that.
Yeah.
Right.
So خلينا نشرح لهم شغله انت كثير مهمه حكيت فيها انه البزنس كبزنس is different من البروبرتي اللي انت حاطط البزنس فيها.
Exactly.
في كثير اوقات بزنسز بيكونوا مستاجرين البروبرتي ما بتكون لهم، او اوقات بيكون البروبرتي لهم، بس لما انت عم when you're selling something في difference between انت عم تبيع البزنس كانه اذا انت فاتح for example burger shop ولا فاتح flower shop ولا فاتح something.
Exactly.
بين انه انت you own ان انت بتمتلك المكان اللي انت موجود فيه. مظبوط. مش هيك؟ طيب في كتير عالم بيعملوا mistakes بهالشغله، في كتير عالم بيحطوا
Oh my God.
حكينا عن some of the mistakes that people do لأنه they don't understand إنه business is different from the commercial property.
So أول شيء, the biggest mistake that people make, مثلا someone is planning to retire, they're going to have a business on top of their commercial real estate, and when it comes time to retire, بغلقوا البزنس and put the real estate up for sale.
Oh wow.
Yeah, people will not realize that the business has a value for them,
هلا even if the business is troubled إنه مش عم ماشي حاله.
So the troubled is going to have a lower price.
تمام بس still عنده price.
فيها price, but if it's in a negative cash flow, the owner is losing money every month, then it's hard to find the value in it.
تمام.
Because someone can come in, they're failing for a reason. مثلا either they have bad employee management, they don't have the right team in place, they don't have the right service or the product. There's going to be a reason why they're failing. Now, مثلا someone who's a good business person, they might see the business and see, okay, you know what, maybe we can go in and fix X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
By that, we can turn this business around. They might be willing to pay for it. But most of the time when a business buyer comes in, they're looking to buy the ability to produce cash flow. مثلا they can go in, bukra, the owner can leave, train them for 30 to 60 days. They can come in and start, you know, be the boss of the business, start running, you know, the operation the way it is, and still make money from the first month they take over the business.
نقطة كتير مهمة هيدي حكيتها هارون. في كتير عالم بيكون عندهم بزنس بدهم يعملوا ريتاير، هن بيسكروا البزنس وبس بيبيعوا
real estate, yeah.
real estate، بيبيعوا المحل أو البناية أو مع إنه في فاليو كتير كبيرة بتكون بالبزنس تبعهم they miss on that point. So خلينا نحكي هارون، what determines the value of a company؟ كيف أنت بتفوت على الكومباني وبتحدد قديش هيدي الكومباني بتسوى، قديش هيدي الشركة بتسوى؟ قبل ما تجاوب على السؤال هارون، بس خلينا نذكرهم إنه فيهم يتصلوا فينا على الاستوديو من ديترويت على 313-769-6666 من ديترويت 313-769-6666 ومن وينزر كندا على 519-256-1023. وكمان فيكم تحضرونا على واتساب ميديا نتورك على الفيسبوك. وفيكم تتركوا الكومنت تبعكم. حيلا واحد بيحضرنا. Thank you for watching us. فيكم تتركوا الكومنت تبعكم بالكومنت بوكس مع الكويشنز تبعكم والفيدباك. حيلا حالي بدكم اياها وان شاء الله نحن بنجاوب عليها نحن وهارون اليوم. سؤالي كان قبل ما كنا عم نحكي عن الفون نمبرز انه how do you determine the value of a company?
So the value of a business or a company, it's as I said, calculated by the cash flow it's producing. What is the cash flow?
تمام.
Cash flow is the money. So first of all, I want to differentiate between the sizes of the company, right?
تمام.
You have businesses that are worth from, you know, 50,000 all the way up to $1 million. Then you have businesses from $1 million to $5 million.
تمام.
So the businesses that are under $1 million, from 50,000 to $1 million, their value is determined by something called an SDE, which is a seller's discretionary earnings, which I'll elaborate on. That means how much, you know, if it's a smaller business, if a new owner, the current owner that's running the business, how much money does he take to his pocket completely? That includes his salary, his personal expenses, مثلا معه, you know, nice car on the, you know, on the company's tab, and on top of that, he's creating profit from it too. So the SDE is the total amount of money or benefit the current owner of the business gets from the business.
Very nice.
But then we value it based on a multiple. So مثلا right now, most of the businesses that are under $1 million, they go by the SDE times 2.
Okay.
2 to 2.5. So مثلا if an owner makes 100,000.
إيه خلينا نعطيهم example يعني
Exactly.
example عملي.
So مثلا.
Let's say أنت معك owner بيعمل 100,000. تمام. خلينا
Exactly. So let's say it's a flower shop that you gave an example.
Flower shop. يلا
right?
واحد عنده محل ببيع فيه ورد.
Exactly.
تمام. يلا.
The guy, he goes into work every day. He works there 9 to 5, of course.
Okay.
You know, from open to close, whatever the timings are.
تمام.
And at the end of the year, the owner, after paying the expenses, paying the employees, takes 100,000 to their pocket every year. That business is going to be
هيدا 100,000 gross عم نحكي.
gross. يعني that's the money that includes إذا معه سيارة بالشركة, you know, whatever benefits
عم
they
بيعمل
have.
100,000 بالسنة.
Exactly.
Okay.
You times that by 2 to 2.5. That will value it at 200,000 to 250,000.
تمام.
Exactly. And now the multiple هذه 2 ولا 2.5, we can go up to 3. But so now that multiple, we determine that multiple based on a lot of different factors, which I can give you an example of.
تمام. يلا خلينا مع الفاكتور.
So the factors would be, what is the growth potential in the business? مثلا if someone comes in, can they, you know, add 2 more employees? مثلا معه enough business, but they can't, you know, so let's say the flower shop, they're getting orders and they're, you know, backed up by 2 weeks.
حلو.
They can't give the order, you know, get the order to the customer. Now someone might look at it and be like, oh, you know what, let us bring, I'm going to hire 2 more employees, or I might have a better transportation service or a better process inside the business
so you can,
that I can get the flowers to them within a week. And so that's a growth potential, right?
حلو. عندنا اتصال على الهواء خلينا ناخده منه الطرون. مرحبا بمين معنا؟
Hi, Linda.
Hey Linda, how are you? هارون معك على
Good, how are you?
الخط. You can ask him any question you like.
Hi, Linda.
Hi. I just have a question. So if I'm a business owner, I own my own business and I would like to sell it, but how do I know how much my business is worth? Do I make some kind of appointment with you and so you can tell me how much my business is worth, and I also want to know what goes into that calculation.
Absolutely. So you're talking about business valuation. That's one of the things that we specialize in. Of course, to value the business, to give you a quick valuation, I would definitely like to review the tax returns and just the financials of the company. So for your own, information, what kind of business do you have?
I have a cooking and baking business.
Cooking and baking business. Perfect. So the value of your business is going to be determined, as I was mentioning earlier, based on the amount of cash flow your business is producing for you. So, if you, let's say you're making, $100,000 a year from that business, that includes your salary, the profits that you're making off of it, any personal expenses that the business is covering for you. With the size, depending on the size of the business, if it's a business with revenues between 100 to 500,000, you're going to be looking at a 2 to 2.5 multiple. So you would value the business based on whatever money you're making times that by 2 or 2.5.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
No
That's
problem,
really
Linda.
helpful.
Thank you for your call. Haroon, can you give your phone number?
Absolutely. You can call us at our office as well if you want a more comprehensive valuation on your business. The telephone number is 313-925-3333.
Very good. I have the phone number here. So رقم التليفون عند هارون بالشركة تبعهم اسمها Evolution Ventures هو 313-925-3333. شكرا ليندا على اتصالك. شكرا على الفيسبوك. عندنا سؤال من محمد على الفيسبوك is asking, can you recommend the pricing techniques for a services business?
Services, so fundamentally, every business's value is going to come down to the money that you're making from it.
Okay.
Understand, so one of the biggest things that we come across with smaller businesses, the biggest problem that I feel like because of this reason, most of the businesses are valued at zero. Even though they're doing a lot, they're paying their bills, life is good. They don't have a good reporting system where they're managing, the financials of the company. How much money is coming in? Where is it coming from? Where are they spending it? Because if we don't have that information, how am I going to value the business? You see what I'm saying? So,
So bookkeeping matters a lot when you have
huge.
a business.
Huge.
يعني على طول مهم تخلي انت المصاري اللي عم تجيك منين عم تجي والمصاري اللي عم تدفعها انت كيف عم تدفعها وين عم بتروح.
Exactly. So when I'm coming in, so مثلا if I have a buyer that comes in, I'm going to go into the type of buyers we have and who usually buys the business as well. But when a buyer is coming to us, we have, of course, at the end of the day, our primary responsibility lies with the seller. But when a buyer comes in, we want to give them transparent information. And a buyer of a business is not coming in to buy a business, but rather they're coming in to buy an opportunity. So I have to show them, okay, مثلا, here you go. This is what we did. This is the financials where I'm, getting the numbers from. Whether it's we're getting it from their tax returns, whether we're getting it from their POS system, whatever system they have inside their company, and I have to be able to understand and verify that that's actually the money that they're making.
هلا إذا حدا ما عنده سوفت وير وعلى القلم والورقة حاطط الأرقام تبعه, how would you verify those numbers?
Well, we're gonna have to hire someone to take that book and throw it Excel.
هلا خصوصا عندنا بالمنطقة في كتير عالم بعدهم على الورقة والقلم. يعني أنا بعرف كم واحد بعدهم على الورقة والقلم.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
We're successful.
There's nothing wrong with that, but مثلا if a buyer comes in and I give him that book, I'll be like, خلاص, you gotta go through this and figure out how much money they're making. Now, yeah, someone might be willing to do that, but most of the people, I would highly recommend, if you're starting to make some money and your business is becoming successful, you can give us a call or just call your bookkeeper. Bookkeepers charge $150, $200, some of them $500, which I think is still worth it a month for bookkeeping. That is cheap. I mean, to me, for someone to pay that money, the value that they get from it is, infinite.
طيب, أنت بهارون, some business owners ما بيحبوا إنه they don't like to report the actual numbers.
Yeah, that's of course. Yeah.
We're talking reality. عم نحكي نحن بالحقيقة. في business owners بيقول لك صاحب محل بيقول لك أنا ليش بدي إنه إذا أنا I'm making $1 million بدي صير أدفع taxes على $1 million. طب أنا خليني to report, for example, I'm making $500,000. طب ما هون عم بتأثر على الفاليو تبع البزنس تبعه مش هيك ولا what does it matter?
So when it comes down to us reporting income to buyers and of course, I don't work for the IRS, so it's not my job to go and figure out who's paying taxes or not. But what my job is to give the buyers, whoever are coming in, the numbers that the business is producing. So If someone, I completely understand that's the biggest challenge we have in the small business market is people not really reporting the exact income that they're producing. So we would go by just the stated income. They will have to tell us how much money they're making.
Okay.
And then they will have to prove it to the buyer. Now, how you prove it, you can either, take the buyer and have them sit at your business for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And see what the business is, producing, or you might have to show them, your bank account, or maybe, your mattress that you got filled with cash. Yeah, like you have to show it and prove it to the buyer.
خلينا ناخذ الاتصال تبعنا وبعد الاتصال بناخذ في سؤال على الفيسبوك كمان وبنكمل بحديثنا. تفضلوا مين معنا؟
Hi, how are you? It's Zainab.
أهلا وسهلا زينب. هارون معك تفضلي.
I have a question. So aside from people getting money from selling their business, what other benefits do people have? Because what if someone doesn't want to give their name of their company and hand it down to somebody else?
Very
Does that
good
make
question.
sense?
So,
Okay.
يعني let's say مطعم عنده اسم المطعم ما بده يبيع اسم المطعم بده يبيع المطعم for example.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank
Okay.
you Zainab. Very good question.
Yeah, absolutely. So that would be considered an asset sale. So, if you're taking away the name of the business, so now if you have the name, you want to keep the name, Mathalan, because you have a lot of loyal people that are, following that business, and you don't think that whoever is going to come in and buy this business is going to represent your name or, whatever the reason behind it is. If you take that away, then it just becomes an asset sale. What is included in the assets of the business? So whether you're selling just the, the stove tops or the chairs inside, so you just come in, whoever is going to be the buyer is going to come in and value those assets based on the market and just pay you for that. They're not getting any other benefit from it unless you have a really strategic
يعني
location.
هيك بينزل الفاليو تبع يعني اذا كنت انت رح تاخذ 100,000 على البزنس بعتقد هلا انت بس عم تاخذ على قديش في غراض بقلبه لهالبزنس مزبوط.
Exactly. Yeah.
زينب وصلك الجواب تبعه عندك شي سؤال؟
Yeah, that was amazing. I had no idea that there was something called selling and buying businesses. I appreciate all the information you guys are providing on the radio.
Absolutely. Thank you for listening, Zainab.
Another question, no problem. Thank you زينب. خلينا نذكركم برقم التليفون تبع هارون هو 313-925-3333 313-925-3333 مزبوط هارون عم بدي سيد كتبناه نحن على الفيسبوك اللي عم يحضرونا على الفيسبوك فينا نشوفوا الرقم مكتوب هونيك واسمه لهارون مكتوب وانا عامل له تاج كمان على الفيسبوك. عندنا سؤال من فواد بيسألك هاي هارون in terms of being transparent how many years of financial information should a business owner keep. So عم يسألك فؤاد بس نترجم بالعربي كمان انه كم سنة معلومات عن الفاينانشالز تبع الكومباني لازم صاحب الشركة يخلي؟
Traditionally, I would say 3 to 5 years. Because when we were talking about initially, the value of the business and the factors, the first one was the growth potential. The second factor that I was going to discuss was earning history, which is, okay, if someone has been making money for 20 years at this business, there's going to be a lot more value to that because if they've been making it for 20 years, I can confidently see whoever is going to buy it is going to be making it for another 10 years. No problem. Right.
شكرا على سؤالاتكم وشكرا على اتصالاتكم. اللي عنده اي سؤال بحب يسال هارون عنده خبره طويله بهذا المجال. بس لك تشتغل بهذا المجال هارون؟
Yeah, well, I have, from a background perspective, I have a master's in business administration. Yes. I have a master's of science and finance. And I've owned multiple businesses before, startups, and
so you guys are in good hand.
Exactly. Yeah, this is from the earliest memory I have, literally from like 8th grade. My parents asked me, what do I want to be? I was like, oh, I want to be a CEO. I want to be around businesses. And well, nothing has changed since then. I started my own businesses and, once you're doing the same thing for quite some time, I was getting bored and with my passion for businesses and just to hang out with business owners, I'm like, what better thing to do than to become a business broker where, I'm literally surrounded by business owners all day. I'm looking at businesses. I can sit here and talk for hours about business brokerage and actually just listen to business owners talking about what they do with their businesses.
مزبوط. خلينا ناخد بريك كتير قصير. بعد البريك بدنا نكمل حديثنا مع هارون. اللي بيحب يتواصل معنا على الاستديو مباشرة رقم تليفوناتي 313-769-6666 313-769-6666 ومن وينزلي كندا 519-256-1023. وكمان عم يحضرونا على الفيسبوك، فيكم تحضرونا على واتس اب ميديا نتورك على الفيسبوك. نحن لايف صوت وصورة هلا حاليا. موضوع الحلقة هو كيف فيك تشتري او تبيع البزنس، وشو الفرق بين البزنس والكوميرشال بروبرتي، وكيف فيك تحضر البزنس تبعك لحتى تبيعه، وشو هن السكسس الكي تو سكسس لك كبزنس اونر. فخلونا ناخذ بريك ونرجع بنكمل حديثنا مع هارون.
موقع قريب من السماء وجنة على الأرض، مطرح بتلتقى خيوط الشمس مع أمواج البحر الصافي. عم تروق راسك فيها بعيد عن ضغط الشغل والهم. ما إلك إلا تزورنا بتريس بيتش ريزورت. نظافة وخفافة ولا أروع هدفها راحتك واستجمامك، وإطلالة أقل ما بينقال عنها خلابة. يلا شو ناطرين؟ اتصلوا واحجزوا، ناطرينكم. فريستيل ساند بيتش ريزورت 1238 نورث هيرون رود، تاوا سيتي ميشيغان 989
you have a good reputation, you're going to be making money off it, right?
لما بيصير شغفك الخبر والعين اللي بتشوف فيها هالدنيا عدست كاميرتك، لما بترسم البسمة بإيد الإبداع وبتشارك الفرحة مع جاليتك لأبعد مدى، لما بتصير مصدر ثقة ومتابعينك بيصيروا بالآلاف، ما فيك إلا تقول إنك أخيراً وصلت لهدفك. بس هدفنا بيتخطى حدود السماء. شو الأخبار ويب تي في بقى كبيرة ومتنوعة من البرامج الحوارية الثقافية والترفيهية، تقارير خاصة وتغطية مباشرة. نحن هدفنا أنتو، وأنتو هدفكم المصداقية، ونحن قدها. لإعلاناتكم معنا الاتصال على 313-258-6799.
ونرجع لكم بحلقتنا وموضوعنا اللي كتير مهم صراحة وكتير شيء، لأنه في كتير عالم فور اكزامبل أنا بعرفهم إنه بدهم يبلشوا بزنس أو بلشوا بزنس بالبيت تبعهم. هيدا كمان بدي أسألك عنه، إنه لما واحد ببلش بزنس بالبيت هل يا ترى في له فاليو هيدا البزنس؟ فخليها السؤال عندك هارون. وكمان مثل ما قلنا لكم قبل ما نروح على البريك انه الموضوع تبعنا هو عن البزنسز، كيفيه تحديد انت قديش القيمه تبع البزنس تبعك، او هل يا ترى في قيمه فيه ولا ما في قيمه. بس انت عم تبيعه لهالبزنس، هل يا ترى عم تبيع البزنس لحاله ولا الكوميرشال بروبرتي اللي هو البيلدينج اللي انت موجود فيه كمان. عندنا سؤال على الفيسبوك من رمزي is asking هارون, how do you add the value of the name and reputation to the selling price of the business when you want to sell your business? The name and reputation, for example, is invaluable.
Absolutely. So, the reputation, that's one of the, most difficult challenges we have is, how do we value reputation? So if you have a good reputation and a good name, guess what? People know you. They're willing to come in and spend their money at your business. And that's the value that everyone else, a buyer, will be looking for as well, and is giving longevity that, hey, you have a good name. A buyer can come in and assume that they can make money off this business for the upcoming years, whether it be 10 years, 15 years, and if it's an amazing brand, Coke can make money from the brand name for 100 years to come. But at the end of the day, even though the reputation and the name, the real measure of success of that reputation is how much money are you making. Right. So again, we come back down to cash flow. So if you have a good name, if you have a good reputation, you will be making money from it. And that would, put you at a higher multiple. So, مثلا, if it's a very iconic business, there's, a lot of businesses that we sell. One of the most other important aspects of business brokerage is every listing is confidential. No one knows about your business being for sale unless they come in and sign a confidentiality agreement with us.
هذه نقطة مهمة by the way.
What is it?
It's a very important point.
Exactly. So we do have a lot of reputable companies that we've sold before, and when it comes down to, you'll be surprised the type of businesses that sell. You would know this business that you've been going for like 10 years, and it would actually exchange hands, and you as a customer would never even know about it.
Wow.
Then because all of our listings are confidential. That's the biggest thing. So when it comes down to finish the point for the valuation, when it comes to reputation, I'm going to use a higher multiple for it, right? Okay. So if I know that this is an iconic place in Michigan, everybody knows about it, and it's been established for the past 50 years, I'm going to use a higher multiple, but we're not going to go into a 15 multiple from a 2 multiple.
Okay.
Because, it's going to be around the 2, maybe we might push it to 3 or 4, but at the end of the day, the value is going to come down to the money that the reputation is producing for them.
What's the highest multiple you used so far?
So if you go into the over $1 million mark, we can go all the way up to 5 multiples.
والله
of the income that it's producing.
Very good. نقطة كتير مهمة قالها هارون إنه هن عندهم بيركزوا كتير على قصة الكونفيدنشاليتي بالموضوع، يعني السرية بإتمام المعاملة تبعكم، يعني ما بي إذا هن ما بيقولوا إنه إذا أنت ما بدك تقول إنه أنا عم بيع البزنس تبعي هن ولا زي do mention it، يعني بس how do you sell it if you don't mention it?
So we have a database of 6,000 buyers that we have. And on top of that, when we're marketing the business, we're marketing it as, for example, if it's a flower shop, we'll be talking about a flower shop located in Wayne County. No name, no address. We'll talk about the money it's producing, the cash flow it produces, and give them information. That's really, what our job is, to convey that information without giving up what business it is. Because, مثلا, if you have a business with 10 employees and, you as the owner meet me and you're like, hey, I want to sell my business. Now, if we don't keep it confidential and your employees find out, some employees, if they find out from the market that the business is up for sale and the owner didn't tell them, they're going to quit right away because they're going to lose the trust. Your competitors might find out that you're selling. So they might try to come in and try to take advantage of the situation that, hey, you have it up for sale. It can be tons of reasons, why we keep it confidential, because it's a business, it's someone's livelihood. We don't want someone to try to sell a business with us, and by the time they're done, the whole company is destroyed. Because the employees are leaving, the customers are leaving. So the one of the most important reasons why our job becomes integral is how to keep it confidential and shop it around with buyers that we know are in the market looking for a business like this, and really just not have anyone know about it till they sign a confidentiality agreement.
Very good. نقطة كتير مهمة حكيها هارون، إنه هني لما بيحطوا بزنس على البيع، شركة للبيع، وصاحب الشركة ما بده يعلن إنه هيدي الشركة رايحة على البيع، عندهم هن نتورك من تقريبا 6000 شراية بيشتروا هن يوجولي، فهن بدي ادفرتايز لهيدا النتورك اللي عندهم اياه. وغير هيك كمان لما هن بيعملوا لها ماركتينج لهيدي الشركه لتنباع ما بيحطوا اسمها للشركه. يعني فور اكزامبل عطى مثال هو هارون انه اذا في مثل محل ورود، يعني بيقولوا بس في محل ورود بيدير بون بده ينباع، القيمه تبعه هالقد قد عم يطلع منه مصاري، وبيقدروا هن يبيعوا. في عندنا سؤال من حسن هارون بيقول لك how about investors? I don't want to work but I want to invest my money. Can Haroon help with that?
So there's like two different types of buyers. That's actually a perfect question, because that's going to take us into the next topic, which is, who are the buyers? There's two different types of buyers. One is an investor, which, for example, this gentleman that asked the question. And the second person is who's trying to buy a business is someone who's looking for doing something, 9 to 5. They don't have any other job. That's the, that's what they're going to do for a living.
عندك عالم بدهم يشتغلوا من 9 ل 5 وعندك عالم ما بدهم يشتغلوا بدهم يعملوا invest المصاري.
Exactly.
بدهم يستثمروا.
Exactly. So I'm going to go a little bit deeper into that, and that will answer the question as well.
وقل لي من خلال جوابك انت if I want to invest شو المينيمم اماونت انا لازم يكون معي؟
That is such a difficult question to answer, because so the reason why, مثلا, you have an organization called SBA, which is a federal organization. It's called Small Business Administration. What they do is, if a bank give you a loan, so مثلا, if a bank loaned you $100,000 to buy a business, not commercial real estate, not property, we're talking about a business. The bank that's going to give you the money, مثلا $100,000, SBA, the federal government, will guarantee 75% of it, that if this business owner fails and they can't pay the bank back, the federal government will subsidize that. They'll pay that 75% to the bank. So the reason why the federal government does that is to encourage business ownership and buying businesses.
Hello.
Right? So now, what is SBA looking for in a person that's buying a business? It's not only just their credit score or their financial standing, but their focus is on who is this person? What kind of experience does it have? If someone who worked at, in a flower shop for 15 years, by the way, we're going to butcher this flower business right now. You brought up the flower shop. We're about to, we're about to make everybody flower shop experts right now. So if a person that's worked in a flower shop for 15 years comes to us and they want to buy a flower shop for themselves now, they've been working as an employee, now they want to go self-employed, the SBA will be like, we'll lend this person money and guarantee the money for them, no problem, because this person has experience in a flower shop, and now they're going in and buying a flower shop. Now, if someone, they've been doing construction for the past 12 years, and they come in and they're trying to buy a flower shop, they're never going to get a loan.
حلو.
So now that construction person will have to come up with all his money from his pocket. Or unless the seller wants to, offer seller financing, that's very common practice. But the construction person is going to have to come up with all the money. Whereas if you have the right experience, you might have to just come up with 20% of what the listed price of the business is. So that's why it's hard to answer how much investment you need to get into a business.
هذا بالنسبة لسؤالي أنا قديش لازم يكون معك مصاري إذا أنت انفستر. بس أنا هارون كان بده يجاوب على سؤال حسن، سؤال حسن. بس خلينا نترجم اللي قاله هارون. هارون أنا سألته إنه إذا شو هو المصاري يعني المينيمم أماونت اللي لازم يكون معه إياه الواحد لحتى يعمل انفست بالبزنس. مظبوط. سؤالي هارون إنه ديبند على الشخص. يعني إذا عندك شخص بيشتغل صار له 15 سنة بمصلحة معينة، في شغله اسمها الاس بي اي اللي هن الشركات الصغيره، هي بتدعمها الحكومه، بيعطوا لونز للشركات الصغيره لحتى تبلش. اذا هذا الشخص عنده خبره فور اكزامبل 10 15 سنه بمصلحه معينه، عنده فرصه انه هو ياخذ لون من الاس بي اي. بس اذا اجى شخص فور اكزامبل عم بيشتغل بمصلحه ثانيه بده يفتح مصلحه ثانيه غير المصلحه اللي هو صار له 10 سنين عم بيشتغل فيها، موست لايكلي ما راح يعطوه هذا اللونز، بده يضطر يدفع كل هالمصاري من جيبته. فعشان هيك بيختلف الاماونت اللي لازم يكون موجود معك. بس خلينا نذكركم بارقام التليفونات بالاستديو، هي 313 769 6666 313 769 6666 ومن وينزر هي 519 256 1023. وكمان نحن موجودين على الفيسبوك في اللايف، كمان فيكم تتركوا سؤالاتكم هونيك. Ramzi is asking, so there is no certain percentage you add to the selling price on a certain formula you calculate. Any example of this multiplier if possible, and thank you.
So, as I said, businesses from 50,000 all the way up to $1 million, the multiplier is going to be between 2 and 2.5. And that's not something that I came up with. That's within the business brokerage industry for the past 7 years. That's the multiple that people have been paying. So if a buyer comes in, if you're about to buy a business too, and it's under $1 million, don't pay more than 2.5 unless you see some huge synergistic value. But most of the time, the buyers know that as well, and people will be paying around that multiple of whatever money you make from that business.
Very good. Very good. خلينا نقول هلا كنا بدي عم بسألك اياه بأول الحلقة، قلت لي خلينا نحكي عن تشرح كم شغلة and then we talk about it. Is how to prepare you to sell your business.
Okay, how to prepare to sell your business. So first thing first, as I mentioned before, get your financials in order. Get your information that I will need as a business broker to market and understand the business in order, which is good bookkeeping. That's one of the primary things that you have to do. Then the second thing comes down to is to understand the true profitability of your company. So now you might have a lot of personal expenses that are associated with a lot of owners. They put their health insurance on there. They start making some money. They pull out a Benz, put that on the business too. And those personal expenses, when a new buyer is going to come in and take over that business, they don't have to necessarily incur those costs. So they have to, understand which are the personal and which are the business expenses, so we can separate those out and value the business properly on the profitability of it, right? Then it's of course the basics of making sure they're making a good impression of their business to potential buyers, which is how organized they keep it. Organization is key in running a business. If you're not organized, a buyer that's going to come in, they're going to have a hard time trying to take over the business. So the more organized you are, easier to sell and market your business.
So خلينا ناخذ فيهم نقطة. So أول نقطة كانت إنه لازم يكونوا شو هارون أول نقطة. The first point you said.
The financial, the financials and the bookkeeping.
Okay. أول نقطة الفاينانشالز تبع الكومباني، الحسابات تبع الكومباني لازم تكون واضحة، ولازم تكون أنت على طول تتارك يعني ريكورد عن هيدي الفاينانشالز.
Exactly.
تاني نقطة حكى عنها هارون إنه لازم تكونوا أورجنايزد، يعني لازم يكون في تنظيم بالعمل تبعك. يعني مش معقول واحد يفوت على شركة فوضى وياخذها الشركة. They're gonna run away from it. رح يهربوا منها لهيدي الشركة.
And you want to know as a buyer, you want to know many customers. Who's buying it. It's just a vendor, a supplier. What is their telephone number? If there's a customer, is there a telephone number for it? Is there an email? How do you collect your payments? Do people have to come down to your shop every day to make a payment to you?
Hello.
Do they have to mail a check? Well, can you take it over credit card? Send him a receipt over the internet? And the organization of information when it comes to the business. Nothing of your products, your services.
Very nice.
What do you have? Your inventory. How much do you have in the inventory? Many people, you go in, you're like, how much do you have in the inventory? They're talking about, we don't know. Maybe 2,000, maybe 3,000.
Hello. Very good. What's the next point?
So the third point is to understand the true profitability of the business, which is, what is your personal expenses involved in it? What are your business expenses? To understand how much money does the business really make.
حلو. سو النقطة الثالثة اللي عم يستمعوا لنا انه لحتى تفهموا انتم اكزاكتلي قديش عم يعمل البزنس تبعك، لانه في عندك بيرسونال اكسبنس اللي هي الاكسبنسز الشخصية، المصاريف الشخصية تبعك، وفي المصاريف تبع الشركة او البزنس تبعك. سو لازم هودي ينعرفوا وينفصلوا عن بعض. What's the next one? I'm being your translator now.
That's actually perfect. Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
No problem.
I was talking about a good impression, but since you're translating, we're going to put, the effort on the most important topics.
Yalla.
So the next one is to have their licenses and all the paperwork for their company in order. So we recently, we do a lot of medical companies. So we recently, listed a bunch of pharmacies, and it's so important for us to have, information when it comes down to a pharmacy, like what type of drugs are they dispensing, who are their suppliers, what were the margin on these drugs, where were the referrals coming from, and on top of that, from a license standpoint, do you have all the licenses in order, your incorporation papers, anything that's legally authorizes you to do business, you want to have all that paperwork in order and organized so we can take it and know, first of all, that you're doing business legally, and when a buyer comes in, to show them that this business is, legally established.
تمام. سو النقطة الثانية عم يحكي عنها هارون لما بتحضروا انتم للبيعوا البزنس تبعكم، انه لازم يكون اذا في فور اكزامبل لايسن بالبزنس، مثل واحد فور اكزامبل عنده ميديكال بيلدينج، او اذا واحد عنده مثل ديكر، هودي بدهم لايسنس محددين من الستيت، كمان حضروهم ويكونوا جاهزين لحتى تسهلوا المعاملة.
And make sure they're valid.
They're valid. يعني
Yeah, exactly.
يعني نقطة مهمة، يعني make sure مش خالصين من اللي تبعهم.
Exactly.
مظبوط.
Yeah, and one of the final point, well, actually the second last point would be to make sure when they list up the business for sale, keep running the business as you were running it. Don't let it decline, because most of the time people list it up.
نقطة by the way.
Exactly. Well, they list up the business, they think, "Khalas, it's sold."
Yeah.
No, if it starts declining now, and you're not going to work the same way, or even better, how you were working on it, that's so when a buyer comes in, we want to show them the business in the best light possible, right? So yeah, that would be the second last point, and the last point would be to hire a good business broker. That might be a little biased.
نقطة كتير مهمة قالها هارون، إنه لما بتكونوا هذه آخر نقطة عم بيقول لما كيف الواحد بيحضر حاله ليبيع الشركة تبعه، هي إنه مش والله حطينا الشركة على البيع خلص ستوب ما عادش لازم نشتغل مش الحال، لا بالعكس if you can even work harder، إنه إذا فيكم تشتغلوا أكتر من قبل لحتى تقووا اسمه ولحتى تعلوا القيمة تبع الشركة why not. وآخر نقطة قالها إنه لازم أنتوا تجيبوا business brokerage مثل هارون في عنا هارون to hire him لحتى يبيع لكم إياها لهالشركة. هلا إذا واحد باع هو للشركة لحاله شو المشكلة بهذا الموضوع؟ إنه what's the problem؟ إذا أنا إنه عندي شركة بدي بيعها لحالي، هل يا ترى بيجيبوا مصاري اقل؟ هل يا ترى في شغلات ليجل هن ما بينتبهوا لها؟
Yeah, it's there's so many aspects of business brokerage. We're literally experts in this industry, and I know the work that we put in to sell a business, and this is my job. Hello. So a person that owns a business, there's no way they're going to have time to come in and properly value the business. First of all, if they're a financial expert and they can value it, they have a good network, more power to them. Like they should be able to sell their business, but most of the people, they're not financial experts. So first it comes down to valuing the business, structuring the business in the way that we can market it and sell it. Not all businesses are saleable. Hello. So that's, and then on top of that we have a network of professionals and experts. We have an in-house
network. انت اللي عم تحكي قبل شوي قلت لي في 6000 هو بشرة، يعني they're ready to buy whenever a business comes up to be sold.
Exactly. And the thing is, we have a CPA in-house, we have attorneys in-house, we have 9 brokers that work with us that are working to sell this business, any business listing we get. So it takes a lot of effort to sell a business and really to get the right value for it, for what you deserve, especially if you've built it over 15-20 years.
مزبوط. Mona is asking you on Facebook, as a business broker and advisor, what's the most valuable lesson you've learned?
Oh man.
حلو السؤال.
Yeah, there's a lot of valuable lessons. I guess for business owners, my most valuable lesson that I've learned, which I would give to all business owners, is make sure you're organized and you have the proper bookkeeping, of course. For me as a business broker, it's at the end of the day, I love what I do. So of course, there's a lot of lessons, there's a lot of challenges that come in with it. Most of the time, it's really, understanding, communicating, and being a problem solver. That's really primarily what our job is. So as long as you love what you do, the lessons are always coming. Every day is a lesson for me, and I'm growing with it. But if she was meaning behind from an aspect of business ownership, I would tell you being organized, having proper financials, and having a good team, of course. If you have those three things, you're definitely going to have some value in your business.
هارون the last point بدي احكي معك فيها اليوم قبل ما تخلص حلقتنا ومرق الوقت بسرعه معك اللي هي الكيز تو سكسس از بزنس اونر. انا از صاحب شركه شو هن نقاط النجاح لإلي؟ واتس از ذا كي تو سكسس؟
So I was actually thinking about talking about a little bit more in detail, but I guess how much time do we have left right now?
Probably 8 minutes.
8 minutes. Okay, I'll try to get into it as much as I can. There's fundamentally speaking, when it comes down to a business, I would want all business owners to look at their business in a systematic way, to look at it as a system. What I mean by a system is you have different components in a business. So I'm going to I'll break it down to 5 major components.
Okay.
The first one being marketing of the business and advertisement, the brand, how it looks, how you present yourself. When it comes down to branding, you can either be a cost-based like a Walmart, or you can be a differentiated like Whole Foods. I was talking to my barber yesterday about that same thing, and it was amazing how much my barber understands that. And he was talking about, I was like, how do you want to position yourself? Are you trying to be the cheapest, or are you trying to be the best where you can charge whatever you want and people come into you for your experience? And then once you determine that, then you figure out what the marketing and advertisement and the branding that you're going to do for your business. Then second part is the accounting and the financial part, which is the bookkeeping. Third one is human resource, your team. As a leader, as the owner of a business, your primary job is to inspire your team. To really show them a dream, a vision, and you are heading that vision to take all these team members that are your responsibility there. You see what I mean? So that requires training, that requires inspiring them, treating them well, and having the right people in place that have the right skill set. So that's the third component. The fourth one is the operations of the business. So if you're, again, we're going to butcher the flower shop. If you're running a flower shop, how are these flowers, getting there? Who's transporting them? Once the flowers come in, where do you store them? When an order comes in, who takes the flowers from where, packages them, mails them out, or ships them out. So that would be all included in the operations. And the last one is strategy and planning. Really understanding where you're going with your business, what are your primary products, what are your primary services. So again, I'm going to summarize these 5 components. You have marketing and advertisement, and knowing what the brand is. You have accounting and finance. You have human resources, your employees, your team. You have operations, and then you have strategy and planning. So those are the 5 components that every business owner should look at their business and see, okay, what am I doing for marketing and advertisement? Who am I? Then look at your accounting process. Is that, okay, am I recording everything financially that's coming in and going out? That helps you manage expenses, understand where you can save money, just gives you invaluable business intelligence. Human resources, pay attention to that, operations strategy. So I wanted to give business owners a way to think and look at a business. If you look at a business that way, you will find problems. You want to be honest with yourself where you're struggling, so you can pay attention to that. And lastly, one of the most common questions I get from buyers is, okay, Haroon, what kind of business should I buy? That to me, when someone asks me that question, I already know they're not ready for a business. Okay. Because that's not how it works.
لازم أنت تعرف شو هو البزنس اللي أنت لازم تكون فيه قبل ما تروح.
Exactly. So business.
ما فيك تتحذر يعني أنت رايح تشتري business. You gotta know which business you're gonna be buying. أنت أي business you're good at to start.
Exactly. You gotta know who you are.
مظبوط.
Right. People think that money. We always hear the saying that, if you chase money, you never get it. So you don't have to chase money. What do people mean by that? What they mean by that is find something you love to do. Yeah. And once you find that thing that you love to do, you're going to always do it regardless of how much you're getting paid. And if you're always doing it, you're going to start getting good at it. And people will pay you for your service. Nobody comes and pays you to reward you that good job. Once you come into the real world, people are paying you for the service that you're performing, and if they're satisfied, they're going to pay you. And if you do what you love, your people are always going to pay you. And then once you understand that what you're doing well, then you come and you start looking for that business so you can take over an already running business and make it better. And start making more money.
مظبوط. نقطة كتير مهمة حكيت فيها هارون I believe people are listening and I know they're gonna في عنا سؤال على الفيسبوك عم تقول لي زينة في سؤال عم بيقول how about هيك بدي أسألك عنه أنا هيدا how about home-owned and operated businesses, is there any value to it?
Absolutely. Many people are interested in buying home-owned businesses, but you have to have some value that we can sell. So you have to have either a brand name, a reputation, you have a customer list. If you're making money from a home-based business, there's going to be another person that's at home wanting to run a business. So they will pay you for it, and SBA is willing to guarantee the financing for home-based businesses as well.
حدا سألنا على الفيسبوك إنه إذا واحد عم بيعمل عنده بزنس بس من البيت يعني ما عنده المحل يعني هل يا ترى في فاليو في لهذا البزنس وفين يبيعوه؟ قال لهم هارون أكيد لأنه مثل ما أنت عندك بالبيت في حدا تاني بيكون بده يقعد بالبيت ويعمل بزنس بالبيت فمين كيف حتى كمان عندهم ممكن يكونوا كواليفايد للون من الاس بي اي اللي حكينا عنه قبل شوي. هارون في شيء أنا ما انتبهت له أو شيء you want people to know about. احنا بلشنا حلقتنا بأنه كل واحد عنده حلم مزبوط إنه to own a business حتى يملك شركة. كيف فيك أنت تساعده لتحقق هيدا الحلم؟
As I said, first the key becomes really self-awareness and understanding what you love to do, right? That you can start looking at your childhood. What did you like growing up? What are you passionate about? What is it that, if you think about that thought, you get excited. So you want to think about who is the person that I want to be, right? And that should include whether it's a business person or, you want to be an owner of a service center, you want to own a pharmacy, whatever that goal is. First, you want to define that vision of, this is who I want to be. And it doesn't have to be you should be, it should be you want to be. You want to be that person and thrive towards it and become that person. And during that journey, you will come down to a step where you want to buy a business, or you want to get into a specific type of business, or if you want to start it from scratch as well, more power to you. But the key becomes first really understanding who you are, what you love to do, and then it comes down to buying a business, which is why most of the people want to buy a business. Every single person that I come across that are my closest friends, what do you want to do in the future? I want to own a business. But they have never they all want to own the business for the reason to make more money, to not have a boss, but they really haven't thought about, themselves on what they want to do and what they are in it for. Once you define that, then business ownership comes naturally after that.
مظبوط. بنهاية الحلقة هارون how can people get hold of you؟ كيف العالم هل يا ترى موجودين عندكم ويب سايت؟ هل يا ترى في سوشيال ميديا؟ أعطينا المعلومات كلها.
Well, our website is www.evolutionventures.business. It's evolutionventures.business, business. That's our website. Or you can reach me at my office at 313-925-3333. And that's pretty much it. You can find all the information there.
Haroon, thank you for joining me and thank you for the
Thank you for having
information.
me. Thank you for having me.
للعالم اليوم I'm sure many people benefited from the information.
I hope so.
Haroon is a good guy. We know him. It's been a while since we know Haroon, and I know many people dealt with him, and he did great with them, and he was able to get more money for the company than they anticipated. فكتير مهم ما بتخسروا شيء. It's a free consultation. احكوا معه لهارون. If you have a company or if you're thinking إنه تشتروا company, all it takes a call, you know what I mean? The phone number تبع هارون هو 313-925-3333. هارون هو business broker advisor والشركة تبعهم اسمها Evolution Ventures. الويب سايت هو evolutionventures.business. فأنا بنصحكم إن تتواصلوا مع هارون إذا عم تفكروا تشتروا بزنس أو تبيعوا البزنس تبعكم، وهو إن شاء الله بيهديكم بيساعدكم لحتى يكون عندكم smooth transaction كمان. فأنا بنهاية الحلقة بدي أشكركم على متابعتكم للحلقة تبعنا. بدي أذكركم بالبرامج تبعنا اللي هي يوميا خلال شهر رمضان المبارك. روحوا على صفحتنا على الفيسبوك على واتساب ميديا نتورك، على الويب سايت تبعنا whatsappmedianetwork.com. نحن موجودين على السوشيال ميديا على انستغرام على كل الصفحات. بذكركم بالجيم شو رح يبلش بكرة على الساعة 7. في كتير هدايا مقدمة من كتير محلات، فرنتشر، جيفت كاردز، العاب، اير تايم عاطين بيرثداي بارتي، زي كاستيوم عاطين بيرثداي بارتي. كمان في عندنا الجائزة الكبرى اللي هي رح تنلعب بخلال العيد، اللي هي فان، سيارة فان مقدمة من نينو اوتوسيل خينا وائل احمد مقدمها، الفاليو تبعها $5000-$6000 تقريبا. بس فيكم تربحوها اذا بتروحوا لعنا على واتساب ميني نتورك على الفيسبوك وبتشوفوا كيف فيكم تربحوا هيدي الشغلات. وشغلات كتير غير هيدي كمان، في من ليمو اكسبرس مقدمين ليمو ل3 ساعات بقيمه $500 كمان. فانا بتشكركم لمتابعتكم. بدنا نتلاقى الاربعاء الجاي بحلقه جديده من برنامج شو الاخبار، كل نهار 4 من 3 ل4. كان معي بغرفه الكنترول كيلي وزينة. الى ان نلتقي الجمعه الجايه نهار الاربعاء، كان معكم حسين هاشم من واتساب ميديا نتورك. الى اللقاء.